On this episode of the Best of Bias podcast, you got me and Daymo talking a whole bunch of pop culture topics. I know. Last week you missed me. You missed me, but we back now. And we ready to talk some topics. We got plenty of stuff to talk about today. Sports, pop culture, cinema corner. Too many to just kind of mention. We're gonna talk about Mandalorian, Snowfall, some Marvel news, Joel Embiid ducking the smoke in Denver, the Nashville shooting, of course. Rest in peace to all the victims there. And prayers out to all the families. Johnathan Majors news, much, much, much more. It's the Best of Bias podcast. You don't want to touch that dial. Happy Friday and welcome. Where that theme song at?
It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to unite us. It's the best of bias. Your best of bias. It's the best of bias.
You are now listening to the Best of Bias podcast with Lydell Dinero and Hugo Twilight.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Lydell Dinero. It's time for another episode of the Best of Bias podcast. I know. Last week you guys was missing the knowledge. Y'all was missing the spit. Y'all was missing the pop culture, the sports, all the good stuff the Best of Bias provides. But we back. I did a little traveling. But we back in motion. We got you guys with content today. We got Daymo in the building again. We out here getting ready to drop some knowledge on. We got a lot of topics. It's gonna be a kind of like a light speed thing. I'm gonna throw some topics to you, and we can say if you're gonna want to talk about it. If not, we can just pass it on. If you want to indulge, we can indulge. But this first topic here, we definitely have to talk about. Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you for being here. It's the Best of Bias podcast. As you know, if you're new, we just bring a bunch of topics to the table and talk about them. Bring your bias to the table. We'll talk about it all. Sports, pop culture, history, food, shoes, fashion, anything. We talk about that shit. So we are here today. But sadly, we have to start a little somber. Nashville, we just experienced another school shooting. I don't know how many has been over the last couple of years. But in this ordeal in Nashville, 7 were killed total. 6 people from the school that this person decided to go and shoot up, and the person got killed by the police as well. Let me definitely start by saying these names real quick. RIP to all these people, and prayers out to all the families. We have William Kinney, a 9-year-old little boy, Evelyn Deckhouse, 9 years old, Haley Shrugs, 9 years old, Catherine Conce, 60 years old, Cynthia Peak, 61 years old, and Mike Hill, 61 years old. All taken from us extremely too early, extremely too early, and under some crazy ass circumstances that I'm not too sure what to do about. That's why I wanted to bring this to the table, to the bias table, and see how you felt about it. I know how you kind of feel about it. I know you have to feel a certain way unless you're like a fucking weirdo. But yeah, exactly, with no feelings. But how do you feel? How are you reacting to the school shooting again? And what do you think? Do you think there's a bigger topic at hand?
Of course, sad, definitely feeling sad and want to send my love and like prayers and condolences to all the families and the people who lost loved ones. But it's a very tough topic. I feel like for us coming from California, it's a little different because our gun laws aren't as like Nashville or places in the Midwest and
aren't as lenient.
Yes, right. To where I understand why they're that way, but I don't know the numbers on if it only happens in those places. I'm sure it happens that in places where the laws aren't as lenient. But I think I've been seeing a lot of, guns, but I feel like everybody has the same access to guns, but we're not all shooting schools up or people or doing these things. So when you think about that as having the common denominator, like, yes, I had the same access to go get these guns and do these things, but I would never think about even doing these things. But that's where the story comes in. Okay, now why are these people doing these things?
Right.
Yes, I understand they can get these guns and stuff like that, but why are they wanting to take other people's lives, and
Children's
especially,
lives.
yes, especially schools and children and stuff like that. So I think that's one of the bigger things at hand. Yes, guns, I think there needs to be a very rigorous, or I mean, you definitely have to dig a little deeper when you're doing background checks, I think.
For sure.
I'm talking about doctor's visits. I'm talking about medications. I personally think that anybody that takes antidepressants
Right.
should not be allowed to have a gun. Unfortunately, because you are on medication that is altering how you're feeling because you are feeling depressed.
Right.
And when people are feeling depressed, they do certain things that they probably wouldn't normally do if they weren't depressed.
Exactly.
And I'm not like taking shots at anybody, but I'm talking about more of a mental state of, okay, what would you do with a gun if you had a gun? Not just, oh, you have a gun, right?
Right.
So I think that's where it gets a little deeper. But rest in peace to all the people that lost their lives, and yeah, it's very unfortunate.
Right. Yeah, this is kind of weird to me how they're trying to spin it a little bit. Every article I read, it kind of heavily involves the girl being transgender. It's a lot of facts in this story that are kind of getting twisted around, and a lot of stuff that wasn't really known right away. I don't know. I feel like America at this point doesn't know what to do. They try to minimize the coverage of these school shootings because I'm sure there's a lot more. My boys are out in Denver. They said there's recently a school shooting over there that we probably won't hear about for a while. Like a person went to school, tried to go through the metal detectors. They found the gun. He shot the security guards, shot a couple people, and then shot himself. So it's just wild shit like that going on. That is just, I don't know. And I feel like the more the media like brings it to people's attention, the more the shit's gonna happen. It's that they idolize that shit.
Well, and also I heard that and I don't know if this is true or not, but I did hear that she had gone to another school, noticed that the security was a little bit tighter, and went to somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's a big thing to where, okay, now we need to start beefing up security at schools as deterrence, right? So maybe not everybody, but I feel like all schools need to reach out to people in helping like protect their school, right? And then they go through background checks, right? And then that kind of goes from there. But
to liaison
that's
officers.
A big thing.
Just put them at the schools, not only in high schools, put them in elementary schools, put them in middle schools. Me personally, I think they should be more on the school campuses anyways, because I mean, I'm sure there's not hella shit happening around the city to where they need officers on duty driving around all the time. Protect these kids, you know what I mean? Have a couple of officers there that possibly can deter these people from just openly walking into schools and just doing what they want to do. I mean, I know gun laws and stuff like that is a big topic, but again, it's like shit. That doesn't make just having a gun. People have guns for sport. I really do understand that side of it. I just don't.
And protection.
Exactly. For protection for sure. Because the world is crazy out there. People are getting shot in broad daylight. But it's like, yeah, I think the kids should be our first priority. Kids dying like that should not be happening. I know a lot of people want to say arm the teachers and stuff like that, but there's weirdo teachers out there too. So I don't know. It's a lot going on. Bulletproof backpacks.
I think the arm the teachers thing is a little bit out there, because why not just one? It's now you're expecting a teacher to become a whole different thing than a teacher, right?
Yeah.
So obviously you'll have some teachers out there that would be willing and capable, but it's now you're talking about money on arming teachers and buying them guns and safes and keeping them safe. But now you're also talking about putting more guns into a school with people who aren't super familiar with them.
Right.
And
Yeah.
now you have people who are going to try to come in with bigger guns, knowing that there's more guns here.
They're gonna have that as a
And
prerequisite on their resumes and shit. Are you able to wield a gun? What
yeah,
size? Oh, you're hired for sure. You're hired. You teach
so
English? English? Okay.
yeah. I think more of like even simple things like having security areas where they're basically like you can see a lot of the area, right?
Mhm.
So I think that's important.
Cameras, all that shit.
Yeah,
Because without
yeah.
that shit, it's just kind of gets really murky. Because I mean, kids fight teachers too. If a kid accidentally gets hand on that gun and shoots a teacher or some bullshit like that, yeah, I don't really think guns in school. Maybe the principal, the superintendent, maybe the security guards, but not the actual teachers. I think that might be a little much. But again, rest in peace to all the families. I'm not going to dwell on this too much because we got to get a happier tone on this podcast. We're a happy podcast, but for sure, RIP to all the families. I'd be remiss if I did not mention that first and foremost. What's up, Dijon? I got NBA Live, Instagram Live going right now as I'm recording. They can't hear you, but they can hear me and kind of see the process of what's going on. But what's up, D? What's up, Jason, if you're still there? But yeah, let's move on to another topic that I kind of find near and dear to my heart. My boy Johnathan Majors acting up out here. He's been in the news recently for being alleged. Well, he did get arrested for it. Domestic violence between him and his partner. There was some stuff going on, I guess, that involves her seeing a text message in his phone. He went crazy, tried to take his phone and stuff. And yeah, there was some domestic stuff and domestic stuff that went on. I don't know if they're in their own car, they're in a taxi, because there were supposedly witnesses and stuff like that as well. Did you hear about this story?
I did. And it just I don't understand when people get right into the limelight why these things happen. It's like, okay, I get sometimes people push the envelope and you're out and about, but you have to, a lot of these things handle alcohol as well, right? So I feel like a lot of people need to learn how to go out without being in these disturbing situations, no matter what they are, right? Because
Yeah.
I feel like they aren't just like, oh, let me throw out some allegations. You know what I'm saying? It's
Unless
more
you
of
say no
like,
to the wrong person. You know what I mean? Then they can dig up some shit and try to get you in trouble. But this one, I'm not too
yeah, I
sure it's
mean,
that.
right. So, all right. So then now you're talking about, okay, if that person tries to say that, how, I don't know, it's tricky. Like knowing it didn't happen, right? But if they have to be in that situation, right, to where it's only them, to where they can say that.
Right.
Because if you're out and about, then and you have other people around and you're like, oh, he hit me, but other people are like, no, he didn't. It's like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to kind of sometimes put yourself in these situations,
Yeah,
right? To
I
where
feel
it's
like Blueface and Krayshawn beat up each other every day. Nobody goes to jail, but Johnathan Majors,
yeah, and
just,
it's cool, right? And
yeah,
that's the crazy thing about it. And it's like, oh, we treat people differently and hold them to a different like standard when why can't we just like everybody just kind of have that standard,
yeah,
right?
the benefit of the doubt type of thing. There's no evidence that came out yet. Supposedly she did have some marks, but she did recant the statement. I don't know when that came about. I guess maybe Disney tapped her on the shoulder, was like, "Hey, we got some money for you if you just say that didn't happen." The lawyer put out a statement like right after saying that the charges weren't real. She was highly emotional over a situation. They took her to the hospital for that situation. There was nothing there. Go ahead.
But didn't the lawyers say tried to flip it and say she was the one that did like the abuse or something right there.
Right, because
So,
she
but that's admitting like there was a
exactly.
situation,
There's
right?
definitely was
So
because he was arrested. She was taken, she had marks and stuff, but the thing is, oh, she saw a message from another girl, so she went crazy and started hitting him. So he tried to defend himself and stop her from, the old spinner Rooney. But we'll see. This stuff is gonna come out sooner or later. There's just too much money behind Johnathan Majors right now, and the industry's not gonna let him go out. That's what it seems like. That's what it seems like. Especially it was a white woman too. Oh boy.
yeah, I'm just
Oh
hoping.
boy.
I'm just hoping he's still a good guy though.
No, me personally, I
Like,
feel like it didn't happen like that. I feel like it didn't happen like that. But
yeah,
I feel like we won't know. We won't know because, like I said, the lawyers probably paid her hush money. Disney, fucking all that shit probably was like, nah, yeah. But man, I definitely, because he's on the ascend right now. Devotion, Quantum Realm, Lovecraft's, Quantum Realm, Ant-Man, Quantumania.
he's
Uh,
supposed to play Dennis Rodman
yeah,
in his
48 Hours in
bio.
Vegas.
Yep.
Uh-huh. And he did what was that? Lovecraft Country. And what was before that? Oh, Creed, of course. But yeah, he's on the
Mhm.
rise, been tapped on the shoulder for a lot of projects. For this to happen so soon, it's kind of crazy. But hopefully this was just rumors and this can get swept under the rug and not really talked about ever, 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 ever again. I
I
support
know.
you, Johnathan
Please.
Majors, until
Yeah, me
until
too. Me too.
innocent until proven
And
guilty.
yeah, yeah. Until like, okay, maybe you did
Good.
do some shit.
Yeah,
Then all
this is alleged
right,
right now. This
but
is alleged right now. So I'm in
yeah,
his
yeah.
corner right now until any of those details come out. And speaking of rumors, you kind of told me about this in the group chat. Well, I kind of heard about this as well. But you broached the topic, so we're gonna bring it to the table. Michael Jackson potentially acquiring Universal and Marvel to create his own thing back in the day, which people say is what started the molestation allegations because Michael Jackson was getting too powerful and he was trying to do too many big things. So they tried to nip him in the bud early before that happened. How do you feel? What do you think would be the world would be today if Michael Jackson owned Marvel and Universal?
they would be nothing like they are right now. That's a fact. Like people can't even play Michael Jackson songs without
Yeah,
people like knocking on your door. Like
yeah,
I think the people that own the Michael Jackson estate have been relatively greedy with what they've done with it.
yeah.
Um, but I could totally see him wanting to do that and buy all like the classic movies and like the classic comics. He was a big kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, and like even having like a movie theater and shit, like I could totally see him doing that shit.
Yeah, his fucking
Um,
house was epic with all the rides in the zoo and shit. Just imagine what he would potentially do with Universal and do theme parks for Marvel and stuff like that before
yeah, yeah,
Disneyland had a
for
campus on
sure.
there. Yeah. So they were like, nah, man, because he already owned the catalog for the Beatles. Like he just had a whole bunch of stuff and a whole bunch of money sitting on a whole bunch of, and his mind state was still of a kid. So I feel like he could have been imaginative, put the right team together to get some shit going. I just thought it was kind of interesting because yeah, Michael Jackson was world renowned and such a held on a high pedestal, and the world was his. Like I don't know, if it's because
Creative wise
yeah,
too.
exactly. You know what I'm saying? Can't think of nobody richer than Michael Jackson back in the day. He had a theme park on his house.
Well, and you have to look at Michael Jackson's music videos.
Yeah,
So many of his music videos were like little mini movies,
right.
but so much before their time.
Yeah,
Like he was really telling stories within all of his songs
hmm
and his music videos, like making some legit productions going down. Um, and I feel like that's overshadowed sometimes.
yeah. I feel that for sure. But yeah, rest in peace, Michael Jackson. I just thought that would be interesting to see what you thought about that. But there's something super interesting that I just saw recently that I thought was hella funny, actually. Soldier Boy responds to a Instagram guy. He was going around asking girls in South Beach, it looked like, would you rather have $250 in food stamps or go on a date with Soldier Boy? And almost every girl in the video said $250 in food stamps. Like almost every girl. So
See,
what?
I don't know. I feel bad because they edited that video.
For sure.
So you know that like
Some said go on the date. Yeah.
yeah, like they was just hating. But but out of all people, Soldier Boy and Bow Wow are probably the two people that like you're gonna really get under their skin.
Yeah, and he put out a whole video talking shit, talking about, oh, fuck you bitches. Oh, excuse my language. Sorry, you too. I'm gonna stop cussing, I promise you. I would never go on a date with y'all anyway. Y'all never big soldier. Worth all this money, this, and that. I'm like, bro, they just wound you up just to get a reaction. Now they're going even more viral.
But he played into it though, right? So
Yeah, he
like
definitely
now
did.
he's already going more viral. So
Yeah,
knowing Soldier Boy, he's like, oh, I should be mad about this, blow up,
yeah.
make a video,
That's
go
funny. Soldier Boy just
viral,
went live on my
and
phone.
then go even more like viral. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So I don't know. He's because I feel like you got to give it up to Soldier Boy. I don't know the numbers behind this, but I feel like he is a pretty like good businessman,
yeah.
venture, like pioneer, you
His
know.
music just isn't really that good.
Yeah,
Everything
yeah,
else,
right.
I feel like he's creative. He can run a business. He's like way before his time when it comes to the YouTube stuff and
Yeah.
the content creation. It's just that when he starts rapping, it's like, really?
Damn, bro.
Yeah, you had all this time to get better. Just try a little harder, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, I guess if you're making so much
Get
money,
get
recordings like the fifth thing.
ghostwriters.
Yeah, or something. Maybe people will notice way too much if he did. He wants to stay true. This is like his fifth job is to rap. So he's like, fuck it.
See, but I feel like ghostwriters are good enough to like write somewhat like Soldier Boy. Like, okay, a
Yeah.
ghostwriter come in. So Tory Lanez was an example. I feel like Tory Lanez could basically study somebody's flow and then do that flow.
Oh, he does that.
And
Yeah, for sure.
exactly. And so I feel like a good ghostwriter can come in and be like, okay, this is Soldier Boy's flow, but I'm gonna do something hella sick with it.
Yeah.
And then boom, it's like, oh shit, Soldier Boy's just saying something sick, but it sounds like Soldier Boy.
And he lightweight raps off a beat too. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of
Yeah.
nuts. But yeah, Big Soldier, don't take it to heart, man. Yeah, they was just playing. They was all hella drunk. They all look hella like ratchet anyways. You don't
You
want them
still
women.
a OG.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Give me 1 second here. And we back. I had to close that door because the dogs was acting stupid as a hoe. That wants some money that I ain't gonna give her. I'm just kidding.
Ooh.
But yeah, let's get into some sports, man, because I've been really wanting to talk about this.
Well,
Been really wanting to talk about this. Freaking Joel Embiid, man. Ducking the smoke in Denver. He didn't want Jokic to get his lick back. He didn't want Jokic to come out there and ball on him and the Nuggets beat him. It's crazy. The MVP race right now is really neck and neck between Embiid and Nikola Jokic. I had to say that really right there. And Giannis is not too far behind. Today he had like 37, 17, and 12 or some bullshit like that.
okay.
Yeah, so he went hard. So
So hold on, real quick. I he totally did duck out, but do you think he was trying to play and Doc was like, nah, you're not gonna play? Or do you think he was like, nah, I don't wanna go up against them? Like, fuck it.
I don't think he
A
said
little bit
that.
of both.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know because he warmed up. He warmed up out there before the game and didn't sit on the bench. Like it was a lot. It was a lot, especially
Yeah,
from
that's interesting.
from the play the game before, and them to say it's nothing. The injury was nothing, and then for him just to not, he go do an interview with Sham saying, "Oh yeah, MVP doesn't matter. If I win, I win. I guess they don't care about defense anymore. They care about people putting up triple doubles that haven't won anything, and just kind of dissing Jokic without saying his name. And then for you not to play the next day, that's big puss, man. Really
Yeah.
big puss. And just like, and you're playing today, the next game you and Harden play. Like, come on now.
Yeah. Like, okay, and that's what I don't like is people do pay to go see that stuff. So it's like, especially if you warm up. And
Yeah.
it's like, bro, people get excited and it's like, hold on, what? He was just warming up. Like,
And he
why is he
doesn't
not out there?
and he doesn't even show up to sit on the bench because he's scared of what the Denver crowd gonna say. They have missing signs up for him. He hasn't played in Denver since 2019. So he just likes for, just us to him to beat us up on his court. But when it's time to come to Denver, he never comes. He never plays. Like, come on,
There's
bro.
a KD stat. He hasn't played either like LeBron or something like that.
He hasn't
Or
played
at
in
the
or he hasn't played
Warriors,
in
huh?
Warriors, yeah, since like before COVID or some bullshit like that. Yeah, I just don't get it, man. And for him to be talking so much mess and for him to be such a big
What?
bully and stuff like that, I don't understand why he punked out like that. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's interesting to
Yeah.
me.
I feel like if you that nigga, you gotta show up and ball him out.
Yeah, and he did last game. He scored 47. So why
I
not
feel
play
like
smart?
I don't know, as a basketball player, I wouldn't want to shy against playing against somebody like that.
Right.
I would think that would be fun. Like, you can't be in your own head. Like, I feel like basketball players should not affect them. They should not be like, oh, I gotta play against this person.
Right.
Like,
And you can
I
win the
might not want to come
MVP.
out here. Like, what, bro? No, you gotta play everybody in the NBA. How could you be in the NBA and not just like expect to play everybody? I don't
And
get it.
there was a stat that came out when he's playing against dominant centers, he never really goes to the or plays the away games. It's like Anthony Davis, Giannis, Jokic, Karl Anthony Towns. The records will be like 5-3, but he'll miss all the games. So he'll only play two of games, well, not play any games at the other player's home court, but they'll take all the wins at his court and play. So it's interesting. It's a habit. And I don't know about Embiid right now, man. Looking kind of scary.
I feel like that. I feel like that probably affected his MVP race.
He could have won
Like,
it if he balled out in that game. He could have won MVP right there. But
yeah,
he let Jokic get 24, 17, and 12 on the team in a victory. And we're on a 4-game winning streak now. You basically just handed it to him. It's kind of crazy.
yeah, because even if Jokic would have got that triple double and you would have dropped like 30 plus, 10 plus, and like
Right.
6 or 7 assists, you would have shined lightweight.
Yep. Because he scored 47, 12, and like 6 last time. And Jokic only scored like 24, 8, and 9 or some crazy shit like that. So he relatively balled on Jokic. So he could, if he was really that guy, just come and do it again in Denver and you'll win the MVP like you've always wanted to do. But yet, if it's about the championship, it's about that's the reason why you should play even more, because you guys were playing for like what, the 2 or 3 seed. Now you guys are just on a 3-game losing streak. If they lose
Oh,
today, it'll be a
yeah.
4-game losing streak, and you're definitely not going to win MVP now. That's the only reason Jokic fell out of the running, because we lost 4 games in a row.
Ooh, them stats, all right, these Lakers stats: 17-5 D'Angelo, 19-5 Austin Reeves,
Oof.
25 points LeBron.
5 assists,
8
please.
They didn't give his assists.
Fuck.
8 points and 7 rebounds Vanderbilt. 38-10 from AD.
Woo!
Yeah,
I did not take his points today. 25 and 25.5.
That was AD's points?
Yeah,
Ooh, he 38-piece stat.
that's crazy. Well, that goes right into LeBron's return. That's the next topic on the board. LeBron's coming back. I know you're a Lakers fan or a LeBron fan, so that increases the hopes for the Lakers making the playoff / play in. How do you feel about LeBron being back?
I love it. I love it. I can tell he's kind of like easing his way in, but still able to like really add those numbers to where like some games, if AD didn't ball out or if Austin Reeves didn't have 30 something points, we would get blown out. And now LeBron is like making it to where that ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna kind of control this pace,
Right? Yeah.
and I'm gonna put these numbers up where they need to be, and we gonna kind of LeBron's trying to let everybody feel out their position to like go into the playoffs, right? Like, okay, everybody feel how you like want to play, where you want to play, and I'm gonna help everybody kind of like mesh together. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And that's perfect for him, because that win today moves them up to the 8th seed. So, well, they still got to do the play-in, but the sweet spot is that 6th seed, man. If you can make it up there, you'll be good. Only a couple of games behind the Warriors, actually 2 games behind. And how the Warriors been playing away,
Oh my goodness, 9-29 on the
Yeah.
road.
Yeah. So if they're not a top seed, if they play anybody in the playoffs, they ain't gonna win no away games. So it's kind of crazy. What else we got here for LeBron and health is just if they stay healthy, they can be dangerous in the play-in. Because shit, the play-in is Thunder, Pelicans, Timberwolves, and the Lakers. Like they'll run through that bullshit easy.
Well,
Yeah.
and like if everybody, I feel like we need to understand if everybody can just help out a little bit, nobody's got to play super hard, right? And exert themselves all crazy. Like we just all need to like mesh together. And I feel like we did pick up a couple players that like we're not dealing with this. All right. The only ego person we're dealing with is AD. Because I feel like AD comes out and he doesn't seem like he loves basketball sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
Like AD plays and he's like, oh, I'm just raw. Like I'm just supernaturally talented. Sometimes I want to like play hella good if it's hella easy or convenient for me. But I don't want to go out and have to get those buckets or like play hella hard to get that shit.
That's why the luxury of LeBron being back, he's passing the ball all the time. He gets him the rock and he just opens the floor for him and he can just roam and do what he wants to. But when he's the one that has to be counted on, it's like a lot of pressure. And I feel like the pressure does kind of get to him and stuff like that. But yeah, I wish him the best. I just hope they stay out of that 8 seed, play the Grizzlies at 7. I'd appreciate it. Don't mess with that 8 seed because I ain't trying to be biting my nails this whole first round. I ain't trying to do that. Moving on swiftly, Bradley Beal ordeal. This one is kind of weird to me. I feel like people get in fights with fans all the time or verbal arguments, knock phones out of their hands and stuff like that. They got to pay a little bit of money or something like that. But how is this even going to court?
I feel like Jay-Z is infamous for knocking people's phones out of their hands for trying to take a video of Beyonce.
Yeah, and I've
seen like multiple videos of that.
Yeah.
Like,
so how is this even a thing? I don't know. Like a fan called him out his name because he didn't win one of his parlays for him. He didn't get enough points, so he called him a effer. And then Bradley Beal went up to him and was like, got in his face and knocked off his hat. And now he's under investigation for knocking off his hat. So I'm like, come on now. This is a little wild. Fans can do anything they want to do, and the players are just expected to keep their composure. They can say, your mom sucks dick behind the store. And they're just supposed to be like, oh, I'm just playing basketball. Like, no, that's disrespectful. You ain't gonna be doing that, and I'm gonna let you know about it. But knocking off somebody's hat shouldn't warrant an investigation. They're probably gonna fine them like $100,000, which is absurd as well.
I wonder how many times these fools hear the N-word in so many different stadiums and just have to like, hey, not Kyrie. If you say anything to Kyrie gonna stop the game.
Hey.
Go get the security guard. We gonna walk over.
Yeah.
And we gonna get this person kicked out.
Him and Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
He did it in a away game.
Kyrie ain't letting it slide.
No, yeah. Boston, they probably be throwing the N-word around like it's cookies. I don't know why they be throwing cookies, but Shohei Ohtani, switching the sport up real quick. Baseball wins the WBC for Japan. How'd you feel about that when you saw it? How do you feel about Ohtani, man? He's a freaking phenom. I ain't seen nothing like it before.
Yeah, bro, he is a beast.
Yeah.
Like people used to look at like Babe Ruth because he could pitch and hit bombs, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that was so long ago. But when you look at like Ohtani, his build is just like
crazy.
Bro, where you come from?
Right. The biggest Asian person I've ever seen.
Yeah, besides Yao Ming, right? Like he's like, but build wise, he looks like he be in the gym pumping. You feel me?
Right. Yeah.
Like dude looks like he be in the gym.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really cool to see if we were gonna like lose to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was like a cool way where he struck what's
Trout
his
out.
name out. Yeah, Mike Trout out.
Yeah.
And that was how Mike Trout weak for that though.
Yeah,
like,
you can't do that.
You can't let him do that to you. Like,
that is hella funny though.
Yeah, somebody else. Like,
exactly.
Somebody else. Knowing him, like, come on, Mike.
You gonna talk shit about that forever.
Yeah, you gonna catch that L.
In Japanese and have a translator tell you. Hey, he said, remember when he struck you out?
Hey, but they were all like Japan was really good.
Yeah, for sure. Japan's since their little league teams are hella good at baseball, so I can imagine when
Yeah,
they grow up, they're still good. You know what I mean? Have their
no,
own
for
little leagues
sure.
and shit out there. What else did I have to say about that? You ready for opening day? I think it's tomorrow, right?
Yup, definitely.
You know
I'm
what I'm saying?
for me, I'm a like until it gets to like around September.
Hmm.
I'm not like an everyday watcher. There's too many games for
Oh, no
my
way.
mental capacity. Be like, I'll keep up with the scores though for sure.
Exactly. Yeah,
I'll let
yeah,
ESPN update me on
yeah.
each inning and stuff, so
Bleacher
I can.
Report.
Yeah,
Shout
yeah.
out Bleacher Report. Yeah,
But
they
nah, I can't be tuning in. That's like 3.5 hours every day, like back to
yeah.
back to back. Nah, man, come on.
I
I
be
got
trying
some
to
other
catch
shit
it
to
on
do.
my free time because the Braves be on TBS all the time. So I'll be trying to catch them while they on TV. They'd be like midday games and shit. I'll be at work
Yeah, yeah,
just watching a 1 o'clock baseball game.
for
Just
real.
keeping up a little bit with it. But I'm excited.
Betting wise, I'm excited
Oh
though.
yeah, I'm excited to see what Prize Picks has. I wasn't going to a Prize Pick discussion, but we'll save that for another time because we beefing
Yeah, I'm
right
gonna
now.
no, I'm gonna get we gonna get some of the other homies on here for prize picks.
Yeah,
Just
we'll talk about.
everybody be betting. Fuck
mm,
F them Nick. F them inners, you know.
Yeah, they taking our money. That's why
Got
we
you,
trying to,
YouTube. F them
especially
inners.
especially those tacos, man. We'll talk about all that shit later. But real quick, I think we got to go into a brief commercial break, and we'll come back and finish it off. Just a little bit more sports to talk about, and some cinema corner, and then we're out of here. The Best of Bias podcast. We'll be right back. It's your boy Lydell Dinero. It's Daymo in the building. We're back, man. And I'm sorry about last week, but I had to go to Mexico. It was an experience I'll tell you about probably next time as well because this I got some stories for you. But yeah, we'll be right back. It's the Best of Bias podcast. You know what it is. And we are back. It's your boy Lydell Dinero, Daymo in the building. We was talking about sports before we had hit that commercial break. Hope you got you a drink, some refreshments. Let's get right back into it though. Lamar Jackson and Aaron Rodgers. Do you have any input on those situations? Aaron Rodgers possibly going to the Jets or Lamar Jackson still trying to find a team or something like that?
I'm surprised nobody has offered Lamar Jackson a lot of money.
Mhm.
I'm kind of confused about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But like, well, it's always tricky when you're coming off an injury, I feel like. So it's like, are people willing to take that gamble? But I feel like it's Lamar Jackson.
Right. Yeah.
I feel like Lamar Jackson just needs that stern talking to, like, bruh, you're not going to stay in the league if you keep playing the way you play.
Right.
Right. Use your legs for escape purposes, but like third option. You know what I'm
Donovan
saying?
McNabb,
Like
that shit. You know what I'm saying? Steve
exactly,
Young.
exactly. But even Mike Vick at the end when he got like with the Eagles, I feel like he didn't like when he would break out, he would only do it when he had to. He was never like, "Oh, I'm gonna look to run first," right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And even use your legs in a way to where you stay like in your quarterback area, but like get away from people, right?
Russell Wilson.
So exactly.
Mhm.
Even Kyler Murray, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? He's a little escape artist.
Yeah. Little tiny.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
learn how to play a safer, a better type of football that you're going to have where your longevity is going to be a lot longer.
Right. Yeah. Personally, I feel like his game needs to change a little bit. He's already went on interviews proving that his injury is like not as a non-issue. Just like he just wants that guaranteed money. What's messed up is that the Browns paid Deshaun Watson all that money, which held a high precedent of what these quarterbacks should be getting paid now, especially if you want an MVP, especially if you're young and if they want to solidify a franchise quarterback, it should be, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, the Cowboys paid Dak all that money, and look
Yeah.
what it got you, Cowboys. Look what it got you.
Well, they
Hey,
had a good
shout
offseason,
out,
though.
shout out to Dak because he did restructure.
Mm-hmm. He's going to do well. Brandon Cooks is going to be a godsend. Watch. I'm telling
Hey,
you right now.
he's got to stay healthy though.
He
If
will. He
don't
stayed
stay
healthy all last year. He just didn't want to play for Houston, but he still had like 1,300 fucking yards.
Gilmore is going to be a very nice pickup for us.
Definitely.
And restructured 2 of our linemen. So that was good. And then got rid of Zeke, which is going to clear up some cap space.
Oh, if you guys draft Bijan Robinson, hooey, that would be ridiculous because I wouldn't trust Tony Pollard coming off a fucking broken leg right away.
So we just picked up what's his name? Ronald Jones
from yeah, he's cool. He's fast as hell. He can't
so
catch.
What we're gonna do is we're probably gonna have like a little 3 running back like backfield, right? Our third one will be it'll go Tony Pollard, Ronald Jones, and then our third one might be like a late pickup or somebody that's kind of like a ground and pound running back.
Yeah, I feel that. Oh, God, I don't even want to talk about football right now. This is getting crazy. We went from all the way up there to Baker Mayfield. That's all I gotta say about that.
That Tom Brady effect.
It's not. Just give us somebody okay. Like what? We can't afford
bro,
Jimmy Garoppolo.
I wish we would have got what y'all got.
Yeah,
I don't even care. Hey, I get it. You don't like where you at right now, but that sacrifice to where you at right now, I bet
cool
that Super Bowl feeling.
Yeah,
it
was a cool 3 years. But man, we'll see what's happening. Hopefully, Lamar, you can come back to Florida if you want. Glazers, make it happen. I don't know. Just make something happen. And Aaron Rodgers to the Jets is going to change the trajectory of the league, I think, as well. He came out of his darkness retreat, and he decided that he does want to play for the Jets. And if the Jets get Alan Lazard, Odell Beckham, Garrett Wilson, and they still have Corey Davis, then they have Breeze Hall, and I feel like they might sign like a Zeke or something like that. They still got Michael Carter. They have Aaron Rodgers, and that defense is already good with Sauce Gardner and the defensive line and stuff like that in the secondary. That it's going to be crazy. The NFL is going to be crazy, and the NFC is going to be the best quarterback in the NFC might be Dak Prescott. That's what's crazy about the NFC right now.
Oh, yeah, whatever. Well, hold on. Nah, I'm taking Jalen Hurts over Dak Prescott.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, see you later, Dak.
But I don't know. I think
Jalen Hurts knows how to win games.
Yeah, he does.
Dak Prescott does not know how to win games.
I think some of Dak's highs were really good, though. He has some games where
his highs are so like oversaturated. Like people, all right, I'm a Cowboys fan, so I'll be watching all the games, right? Dak, all right. We were doing great with Andy Dalton. Not great, but we were playing like a good level of football. We were playing
Cooper Rush.
Bro. Cooper Rush was like nothing flashy, but you need the right play made at the right time. Boom, I'm gonna do that for you.
Yeah.
Dak is like, oh, you need this play real quick? All right. Interception. Boom. Like, no, literally, like Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
He was balling, but yeah, he was a little bit flashy, but it seemed like he would make the right play when he needed to.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott, then that was what the NFC game came down to. It was Brock Purdy, 0 interceptions. Dak Prescott, 2 interceptions.
Yeah, it's just kind of different though when you have your head coach as an offensive guru. It can make the game hella easy for the quarterback, like he made it for Purdy. And then you have Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore as your offensive coordinator and head coach.
Kellen Moore's not too bad though. Like
I don't think so either. They were never on the same level. You can see how he was talking shit about him once he left. That he wants to be more of a smash mouth team, wants to do this and that, and act like Kellen Moore didn't do. They were blowing people out in certain games, and the Chargers picked him up super quick.
Kellen Moore was our fall guy, because we couldn't get rid of Dak.
Yeah, and ain't good, man. That's gonna be interesting, man. Y'all gonna Derek Carr his ass.
Oh, I hope.
But yeah, let's see here. What else we got? Aaron Rodgers, do whatever you want to do. Let's talk about Bronny though, because this Bronny thing. LeBron James, of course, Bronny James. He just recently got in the news because one, he went from a 4-star to a 5-star. And two, he just got offered a 7.1 NIL deal. 7.1 million.
I think he got 3 deals each. He got offered 3 different deals.
And then they could all be worth up to $7.1 million. And I can only imagine where it came from. I'm not going to say any names, but it might rhyme with Bikey. He's supposedly is supposed to be going to Oregon, which I'm really fond of. It's a rumor right now. People don't think he's going to go there. People have their doubts, but his 2 best friends are actually already committed to Oregon. Mookie Cooks and Dwayne, I think it's Dwayne Brown is his name. 2 I think McDonald's 100 players that are played with him in the All-Star game this weekend are already committed to Oregon. And Mookie was like, "Man, we want him here. We're trying to get him here." He just became a 5-star. He had a couple of 5-stars on the team last year. So once they come onto the campus, and I just have a feeling that he's holding off on the announcement because he has to announce it sometime soon. Phil Knight's in with him courtside at the LA Lakers games. So I think it might be Oregon.
I could see him staying closer to home than Ohio State. Because I feel like, well, it matters what their plan is, right?
Yeah.
If Bronny's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go live on my own away from like here for just 2 years or whatever," like,
yeah,
boom, like whatever. But it's like he ain't planning to stay for 4.
No, absolutely not. I mean, it just makes sense though. Like LeBron's a Nike athlete. Oregon's right up north. Just go right up there, stay like 2 years. You bring so much value to the school, so much value to the brand of Nike. It's a win-win. We'll give you $7 million independent money for you just to post up here for a year and possibly make a, March Madness Final Four type shit. You know what I'm saying? That'd be crazy.
I think Oregon would be what were his top? He has like 3 top picks, doesn't he?
Yeah. It's I think it was Oregon, USC, and Ohio State.
Okay.
Or the G League, I think it was too. He had a G League thing up there as well.
Okay.
But yeah, me personally, just Dana Altman's coaching record, I know Duke is the school that everybody thinks he should go to, but Coach K is not there no more.
So that program is not the same.
Ohio State's not what it used to be. And I just think we're just getting in on this influx of recruits. We made the tournament, deep in the tournament a whole bunch of times. Dylan Brooks, we made it the Final Four and lost to Virginia, I think. And that was within the last 4 or 5 years. So yeah, I think it'll be good for him to come through. I think Bronny is just gonna grow into himself, man. I'm interested that he got a 5-star now. I don't know if he's 5-star necessarily. You know what I mean? He's good, but I know his homies are better than him. For sure.
He showed out in the McDonald's game though.
Yeah, for sure. That's like an all-star game though, so they don't be playing no defense. But he was dunking the ball.
Was he though? No, was he dunking in the game though?
Yeah, and in the dunk contest, he was just getting off. He was doing his thing. So, but I don't know. I hope he's good. I know he has all the resources in the world to be good. So, I think that'll happen. Mookie Cook, Dwayne Brown, incoming dunk contest. Yeah. It's time for Cinema Corner. Mirror. So let's start up with some Marvel news. You said 2 of the 4 Fantastic Four actors are casted. I didn't look up who they were.
I don't know if they released it.
Oh.
They just said we got them.
So they're getting ready we know it's actually happening.
Yeah.
They've been keeping this really close to the vest, which I don't understand why. But I feel like we need the hype right now because Marvel is kind of like, I don't know, man. It's kind of like the death of the comic book movie right now because the last couple ones that came out have been kind of mid. Shazam, Ant-Man, what else? Black Adam. They all were like really hyped up, but I feel like the delivery wasn't necessarily where it needs to be. So I think Marvel is slowing down on their properties so that they can have more quality over quantity. I think this year, 2023, we're only getting 2 shows and 3 movies, and we already got 1. and we know that one is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy. So I don't know what the third one's actually going to be. Maybe the Marvels may come out this year. Is that what it's? I don't know. But I know the shows we're going to get Secret Invasion, and we're going to get what, Loki season 2? Is that this year?
Yep.
Mm.
I believe so. I believe that's in the summer too.
Yeah. Well, so we'll get back to back because Secret Invasion's June 21st, rumored to be this year. So
because it said Loki 2 says coming soon, I think.
no, it doesn't really give a date.
Yeah.
Interesting. But yeah, man, Ant-Man also, just to give a little some statistics about Ant-Man. They only made $400 million, which that's worldwide, and it's like week 6. So at this point in time, like a lot of other Marvel movies are kind of almost straddling like the $1 billion. The last couple of Ant-Man movies did like 600 million and 500 million. This one did 400 million. Yeah, a big decrease the second week of it being in theaters. I don't know what's going on, man. I think we just got oversaturated last phase. Maybe they need to stretch the phases out and not give us so much at once or something like that. Shazam, its second week in theaters decreased 61%. Like,
I mean, I feel like Ant-Man wasn't really a big fan, like character fan, or like had a big
fan base. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's something that we haven't seen a Marvel movie in a while. And actually we did. We actually for sure did. Love and Thunder. Coming off of Love and Thunder, we needed something better. And we thought Ant-Man was gonna be something that could redeem Marvel, but I don't think it really redeemed it that well. It was good, but it wasn't like super. You know what I mean?
I feel like they've gotten too mixed up in now having to tell a full story between TV shows and
right.
movies.
Have everything
So it's like,
intertwined.
okay, well, now our TV shows are going to be taking up a little bit of our budget, so our movies aren't going to be. That's why we keep seeing, like, that's why I feel like we keep seeing all of this Avengers Kang Dynasty, Avengers Secret Wars. Like, those are the movies that were going to be like, oh my God. But all of the other movies aren't, right?
In the TV shows, Echo and Agatha Harkness, like we don't want
need
that
those.
shit.
We do not. I'm sorry. Those can be little, those do not need to go in with the storyline. Like, I do not want to have to watch all of that stuff to understand what's going on. If I do, I'm gonna be a little upset.
A little too much. I think we're getting Daredevil this year. 18 episode Daredevil. I think that might be towards the end of the year. That might be the second one. But yeah, man, let's get into this Snowfall talk. Marvel, do better. We know you're going to do better. But I'm telling you, do not let James Gunn go over to DC and turn shit up and y'all still sitting here trying to figure shit out.
You got high hopes for May though?
Yeah, I mess with Guardians a lot. I mess with Guardians a lot. So I just hope they don't really I'm just hoping they don't do some lame stuff with the Rocket Raccoon and his backstory and stuff like that and focus too much on that. I know the High Evolutionary is who created him, and the backstory is, prominent and needs to be told, but it's like,
and they just released a new picture of him, like a new official picture of him in a cockpit.
Rocket?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. Toys and stuff give away everything, man. So stay away from all the toys. Stay away from the Funko Pops because they'll let you know what happens as well. Yeah. They be giving it away. But I'm excited. May is pretty soon. It gives me a little bit of time to wash off the Ant-Man and see what we can do. Hopefully we get some cameos from Johnathan Majors in this one as well. And hopefully this isn't the last we see of the Guardians of the Galaxy, because I really do like the characters. I heard what's his name, who plays Chris Pratt, who plays Star-Lord, may be going over to DCU, because I mean James Gunn has the ties with everybody. James Gunn made the first 2 Guardians of the Galaxy, so if they want Chris Pratt to play some epic ass role in DC, he's definitely gonna say yeah.
But do you think that means that's not gonna keep him away from like his Marvel role? If they want to keep Star-Lord alive to keep fighting, he's gonna for sure stay in there.
Yeah, I just don't think they're gonna keep him alive though, or they'll do any more movies. Because
so you don't think that Chris Pratt and them will be in like the Avengers, Kang Dynasty, or Secret War?
No.
This is gonna be like the last what we see of them.
because potentially Rocket's probably going to die. Batista is for sure not going to be Drax anymore. He said he didn't want to play Drax anymore, so he's probably he's may die. So they may just kill it off.
I feel like Drax is kind of like they could put another nigga in some.
But Drax is supposed to be dope as hell in the comics, is which why they nerfed him in freaking Guardians of the Galaxy, which I never really liked. But
I feel like they can't get rid of like Mantis and Groot and
no, they'll still be around for sure.
Okay, so you're just talking about like Star-Lord's gone.
Yeah, the Gamora
Rocket
probably
Gamora.
gone. Yeah, Nebula, like all those. I think the whole because it was a James Gunn property. I think they're just gonna be done with it, just like they did, some other properties from the earlier phases. Just leave it behind because I mean, there's nobody. Yeah, they told the story, especially what third movie. Yeah, I think it'll be done. Just like Ant-Man, I think Ant-Man is gonna be done. The daughter's gonna be in the Young Avengers for sure.
They said Ant-Man is coming back.
Oh my goodness. They after all these financials, they shouldn't make him come back. Just leave Cassie, have her be Stature in the Young Avengers, and they can still have that story. Hank Pym is hella old. Kate Van Dyne's hella old. The Wasp barely did anything in the movie anyway, so just cancel all the motherfuckers out and just start this new phase. I mean, I liked all the characters, but that's what they did anyways with Captain America. They did it with Tony Stark. They're gonna do it with the Hulk. Watch, because
they went all the way to the end.
Yeah, but I don't know. They just
we're
barely
like,
in other
shit.
Think
about it, like they waited until the last movie to kind of cast them out, and they still didn't even cast all of them out, right? True. They really only casted out Iron Man, Captain America, and like kind of like the Hulk. You know what I'm saying? And Black Widow. She gonna go.
Oh yeah. Yep.
But even Thor has made his comeback.
Yeah, Thor, he's gonna stay around. He's a god. You know what I mean?
The Hulk still kind of had his comeback with She-Hulk a little bit.
And the Hulk is interesting because it's not all the way a Marvel property. So they can't really do his own solo movie.
Yeah, and so they're gonna keep Winter Soldier and Falcon, Captain America and stuff. So
they'll definitely transition.
Like they need to hold on to them. Personally, I think they need to hold on to them because those are the people we like. I don't have faith in the Young Avengers whatsoever, or the new characters that way.
Well, I just know they're going to introduce the dark side of Marvel and the Midnight Suns and all that stuff, and the darker side is going to be dope. Blade.
And so, do you think they're going to be fighting against? Hey, I heard it like quick little, Moon Knight. That would be sick if it was Khonshu versus Ramatut.
I feel that there's probably something that happened back in the day, but they have so many teams they can play from. The team has Ghost Rider, Blade, Moon Knight, just a whole bunch of people that they can just put on teams to actually come and join that, and so many properties that they're building towards. Like once with they'll still have Wanda around. The Vision is still going to be around too because they're developing a special feature for Vision, the White Vision. They're introducing the Thunderbolts. Liv Taylor from the first the Hulk is coming back for Captain America because Harrison Ford's playing the new General. Is his name Bolt? He's playing the Red Hulk, so she might become a Red Hulk as well because in the comics she becomes a Red Hulk. She'll fight probably She-Hulk in the movie, but there's a lot of shit.
And Spider-Man,
Shang-Chi, Spider-Man, of course. Yeah, there's so many people. They said that dude, the young Avenger dude is going to be in World Order as well. Remember when he went to Bradley's house? Bradley's going to be in the new World Order as well. Isaiah Bradley. So there's going to be a lot of people that they carry over. They still got Yelena Romanov will be the new Black Widow. You'll have freaking Kate Bishop.
The old captain, like the bad Captain America, is going to be part of the
Thunderbolts
too.
Yep. John Carter. What's his name? John Carter.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, yeah, those fools. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff, man. That's why it's like it just seems like it's going to be the end. But they are introducing Adam Warlock in this new Avengers movie. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy. So who knows? There could be more, but I just feel like some of them are going to be gone, and we won't see them as they were. But Peter Quill may
All
stay.
right, so I could totally see that them killing off people in Secret Invasion and basically having all of the people that you want gone being caught as being a scroll. Because
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
they just released like a trailer, not a trailer, but when they showed when it's gonna drop, I think in the background is a bunch of like different Avengers, but like with scroll faces and ears.
Yeah, I feel that, especially because scrolls are really prominent in Fantastic Four. So all this shit's going to intertwine, and once the Fantastic Four comes, there'll be a whole new family that you add to it. It's a lot of stuff coming, but just hopefully they can keep their head above water because James Gunn is posting some stuff, putting those Justice League characters out there, boy. If he comes out with some good movies, bro, we're gonna have some competition on their head. I'm a Marvel guy through and through, but the stories and stuff that DC has and they can put together if they do it right makes for epic movies for sure. Like, you know what I mean? So, Snowfall though. Snowfall, last two episodes. How do you feel about it? What we thinking?
Man, I'm kind of speechless. Like shit is just picking up quick. And obviously, spoiler alert,
Yeah.
but
Spoilers.
my nigga Jerome, RIP, bruh. Like, I'm so mad that he didn't even have to go out like that.
Yeah, he
He
didn't
didn't
at
even
all.
have to go out
He
like
didn't.
that.
And I think
But like, I think he wanted to go out. He's like, nah, OG, I'm going out like a OG. He didn't want that life no more. And
yeah.
he knew she did.
Hmm.
So he's like, this is the only way I'm gonna escape it. Because
Yep.
I'm not about to kill my nephew. I'm not
Yeah.
about to go to war with my family no more. I'm not about to keep selling drugs in this bad life.
Yep. And then yep, once he wants to get out of the game, that's when something hits you, man. Now she about to go crazy. Blame Franklin for everything. He gonna have some more shit on his hands to have to deal with. He already killed Teddy's dad in the last episode before that. Stabbed that man right in the neck cavity. Um, guess what?
I'm kind of liking Franklin's ruthlessness though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He has to be.
Because you're dealing with CIA operatives and you're dealing with people that have already fucked you over.
Hmm.
So I ain't giving you no wiggle room this time.
Yeah,
No wiggle
absolutely.
room.
No way. And yeah, all the shit that he's been through from being like a straight edge student to being where he is now, just having all this money and all this power, it's like he has to be that way. He has no more lieutenants to handle everything for him. He can't really trust nobody. Family, Peaches. Only person he can really trust is Leon. Leon trying to get out the game, but ended up right
Yeah,
back in it. Um,
for real.
yeah, Leon was one of my favorite characters for sure. But yeah, it was kind of sad that Jerome went out like that. We're gonna see what happens today on the episode. We're recording this on Wednesday, so this shit comes out today. We gotta watch that. But I thoroughly enjoyed what's happening so far. Though it seems that it can be kind of like slow at times. There's big scenes at towards the end that just kind of leave you like, wow, what is happening? What is happening? What about his wife's mom? Finally showing her true colors.
I was waiting. I
Yeah,
figured that was gonna happen.
yeah,
I'm happy. Like his wife was like, nah, you ain't got
yeah.
nothing for me.
But I think that's also gonna cause some shit. She's gonna do some shady shit still. Either like tell Teddy what's going on, give some information about where they're going, or some shit like that. Or she gonna get caught by Teddy because he gonna figure some shit out. He's gonna be hella mad about his dad still. So yeah,
Yeah, I hope not. I hope because she's smart too. So I'm hoping they can be like both hella smart together.
because they're gonna have her picture from the old people's home because she was the one walking around with him. And if she gets identified by anybody, Teddy's gonna be on her.
Yeah, that's
He,
true.
he's gonna be honored heavy, but interesting. We'll see that. We'll see what's going on. How about the last two episodes of Mando? Have you watched those ones?
So those were probably my favorite two episodes
Hmm.
of Mandalorian all season.
Really?
Yeah, I really liked. So the one before the Foundling, I really liked that, and I feel like that's how you do in an origin story.
Oh, when he
Um,
bathed in the waters, that one? Or are you talking about
uh,
the Foundling episode?
The Foundling episode
with all the Jedis and shit when Grogu actually
Grogu's story.
yeah.
But it was also so like I'm doing reference to the origin story of that weird girl and guy on that other
Oh
planet.
yeah, oh you're talking about that one, the
Yeah. But
scientist.
so like I like how it was like they were going to save the kid, but also Baby Yoda was going through his own thing, like getting his shit. And
Right.
then that's like how you do an origin story. Like, okay, you pop me in, you fucking tickle my fancy, and then you pop me back out. You know,
Right,
like that
yeah.
was
That was
good.
that one was dope. They saved what's his name? Paz Vizsla. Was that his name? Yeah, Paz Vizsla's son. So it showed the importance of younglings in the Mandalorian culture. We did see the Order 616 being enacted and them taking out all the Jedis. And we saw the sick Jedi with the two lightsabers was going ham that saved Grogu.
Yeah.
But yeah, that origin story was super dope. I'm like how it showed out Order 616 because that's really prominent in Star Wars. They killed freaking chip went off in the droids' heads or the clones' heads, and they made them kill all the Jedi. So that's why
Yeah.
Grogu is like the last one left besides Ahsoka and obviously Luke and shit. But I like that a lot.
It was good.
It was a really good one. And the one after that, oh yeah, we saw actually Grogu get the little armor on his chest. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna become.
He's getting there.
Yeah, he's getting
He's
there.
gonna be
And
a
I
little
like
sick.
yeah, and I like how they getting Bo-Katan kind of showing that she's going to become the leader. She like at first she didn't believe in nothing at all the Mandalorians were saying, but then after she saw that what's that thing called in the water? The
The
Mythosaur.
Mythosaur.
Yeah, when she saw that in the water, she started to
Like,
believe
oh
again.
shit. This big ass
Exactly.
thing.
Exactly. And I'm redeemed. Now I can actually walk the path and, walk the way of the Mandalorian. And I think she started to fuck with it because she didn't take off her helmet anymore. She followed the religion of the Mandalorian. And now in this new episode, the pirate one was actually pretty sick too. We're back on Navarro. We always on this planet with Apollo Creed.
Yeah, doing some shit.
Yeah. But yeah, the pirates just came and just shot up the planet. That's so crazy how big ass ships can just jump from planet to planet and just shoot down on them and destroy them bitches.
Yeah,
It's some weird ass Star Wars shit. But yeah, so I forgot his name. Mando's homie, the Apollo Creed, calls to I think the rebellion.
High Mastrate Navarro. No, Navarro is the planet.
Yeah, it's whatever he is. He calls on the Mandalorians because he couldn't get any help from the Republic or whatever they're called, the X-Fighters and shit. So basically, that one of the X-Fighter captains went and found the Mandalorians and said that they needed help over on Navarro. We get this crazy ass battle scene. We saw the armorer knock some people out with hammers. I'm just wondering why they don't have as much tech as Boba Fett has on his. They just shooting regular blasters. Boba Fett be shooting wrist cannons, back rockets. Yeah, it's like man,
but he is that one.
Yeah, he's the one that all the clones are made after, and he's that guy. He's that guy. But I still
not Boba Fett. The Mando.
What? Oh yeah,
Boba Fett is
the first
Fett's
one.
Got but we saw Boba Fett before. He's like the chubby Mexican dude, right?
No, he's Samoan, but
Samoan. There we go. Yeah.
But in the movies, and he's supposed to be like when he was in this show, his armor, he had the big ass back rocket. He had all the side ones. He had he could swing shit around. And
even Mando, he be having some sick ass ones that be like.
But they weren't using them. That's why I was like, why aren't y'all using those little rockets and shooting, blasting all these fools? And that would have been over with right away. And they got pinned down.
Save that shit.
Yeah, but it was a good episode.
Hella popped in and said,
yeah, with the slash. See, that's a descendant of what's his name, Tar Vizsla, who was the Jedi and Mandalorian. That's why he wanted the dark saber because he was a descendant of him, and he tried to fight Mando for the dark saber so he can be the leader and shit. But nah, Mando's that man, and Paz Vizsla is just the second hand man. He's the muscle.
Mando need to give Bo-Katan the sword, or did he already give it to her? Right?
Nah, because they actually won it in battle. Yeah, she gave it back. They got to win it in battle because he lost it when he got captured by that weird ass robot thing in that one episode.
She used it to save him.
Yeah, but yeah, Bo-Katan
eventually. I definitely like how it's going.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But that's it for Mando. It was great. Keep doing your thing, Mando, because you're holding it down for Star Wars. I watched The Bad Batch. I don't know if you watched The Bad Batch. It's an animated series about
No,
some
but
Star
I gotta get into it.
It's
I definitely
good.
want to get into it.
It's like 16 episodes deep right now, and it's season 3. So it's a really good show. Really good show. If you watched Rebels and stuff on Disney Plus, you can really get into that. It's about some some clones that are kind of different from all the other clones that do whatever they want, and they're badass and kind of cool.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll end it off with saying some good news here. Jeremy Renner on the road to recovery. We saw him doing some interviews about his accident. He's exercising, getting his strength back, which gives us really big hope for Mayor of Kingstown season 3. More Hawkeye actions, more Ronin action. How do you feel about Jeremy Renner coming back for another season of Mayor of Kingstown?
I mean, I hope he does. He looked like he was doing all right. It's not going to come back anytime soon.
No, absolutely not.
We're pushing 2025 probably.
No, for him to be back out there filming and doing stuff like that. I feel that.
Or if they write the story around him not having to do much work, right?
Or he gets in an accident and he's actually in like a wheelchair in the show.
Yeah, it'd be hella easy for him.
Yeah, that'd be funny. Well, not really funny,
and
but
somebody has to like push him around and shit. That'd be kind of
that'd be interesting. But with that, I mean, just prayers out to him, man.
Or he just has to push his mom around everywhere so he can like use it.
Did his mom die? No, she's just going to the hospital.
Yeah,
that was cool. I knew somebody was gonna get shot in that scene. I thought it was gonna be the brother, but ended up being the mama.
Yeah, that one's too heavy. That one's heavy. Like that one, I don't know. You got to watch that during the daytime and then some cartoons after.
Yeah, that was kind of wild. But yeah, that's the end of the show, man. We made it to the end where I like to let the people know where to find you at. You want to let them know where to find you?
Yeah. You can find me on Instagram at the Daymo Lee _POV. You know me. Thank you for another great episode. We in
Anytime.
Getting it.
You
already know. Got some fire ass topics, and if you ain't watching it, watch it. You know
what are you doing if you're not watching?
What are you doing? We talk about this show. We talk about those shows. We talking about the sports. We talking about it all. So
it's the best of bias.
Watching it,
what are you doing?
Bias.
Man, but you know where to find your boy is SAC_Lydell on Instagram, Patrick_Lydell on the Snapchat. If you're looking for anything Best of Bias related, just type that shit in and you'll find me. You'll find Growly up here smiling at you. And if you want some of this merch with Growly on them, you know what I'm saying? Do not be afraid to tap in. Hit me up on the Instagram, hit me up on the Twitter, hit me up on the Snap. Well, it's just Patrick Washington on the Twitter. I don't know what my name is on Twitter. I don't really use it that much, but yeah, just hit me up. I got plenty of stuff still. Dad hats, bucket hats, trucker hats, T-shirts, beanies, about to have doggy bandanas. So get your dog fitted as well. Have them ready for the summertime out there, stunting, all different colors and all different sizes. We'll be there. We got everything because we more than a podcast. We merch gang. Thank you guys for being here. New listeners, welcome to the family. And we out. It's the Best of Bias podcast. And where's my theme song? Yeah.
It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to unite us. It's the best of bias. Your best of bias. It's the best of bias.
You are now listening to the Best of Bias